Now we have a couple of ways of getting on top of the bar for our calisthenics skills. The harder variation would be a muscle up variation like that. The easier variation that I'm going to go through today is the pullover. So from this position, pulling up and going around the bar and then getting on top. Now this can be done on the high bars, it can be done on these little low bars, and it can be done on medium bars like this. So the easiest way to start to have a play with this one and then see where your gaps are is to go down through the movement backwards. So I'm going to head over the bar first, get upside down, place my hands on the bar and just see what type of control I have coming down. And notice that I can stop throughout the movement. I could just pause here all the way down to the hang underneath. So that tells me that I've already got good control through there, and I can even start to reverse the movement. So I could start on top of the bar like we just done. I could go over, so here, and then I could just try and get back to that start position and then just do partial range. So partial range means I just keep going down deeper and deeper and then trying to get back up again. Now that works very well if you've already got quite a bit of strength through there, and you can definitely do the slow eccentric down. Now if when you go over the bar you just drop, so when I come down like this, I just come down with no sort of control, you're probably not going to be able to get back up again. So if that's the case, we need to break the movement down, fill some of those gaps with strength, but also give you some variations to play with the skill itself. So one way would be, if I can't get over in that way, I need to raise this foot, the foot that's helping me up. So if I stick my foot up on a step like that, now I'm closing the gap and I might be able to kick myself over the bar. Now when I say over the bar, if I get into this position, you'll notice that I can't get up. I need to, when I go upside down, I need to try and pull my hip over the bar more on top. Now I've got more weight this side of the bar and that helps pull me over. So if you are going to use the technique with a box or a step, you probably need to use something quite high to start with, depending on the height of your bar, to make sure the hip fully gets over the bar. Now the other way to do it is to use the momentum. Now this bar I can use quite a bit of momentum with because it's got a bigger base. This bar not so much, this one's going to move around. But if I do have a strong bar, I could use momentum and try and circle myself around the bar and just get used to that transition or the skill of just flowing around. So in terms of getting up on the bar, we have assistance by using a step, we have the momentum, we have the eccentric plus the partial range. And then we need to start looking at how do we fill some of those strength gaps. So that front lever pull type movement. So the front lever pull means that I'm in a hanging position underneath the bar and I pull my hips up towards the bar. Now the easiest variation is like I just done there, is doing it in a ball. Or if I'm flexible enough, I can have my legs up here and then push through. Notice that my hips don't allow that, I hit the bar. So you have to be super flexible for that one and have the right setup for that to happen. But most of you is going to find the easiest way is to be in a tighter ball, slow eccentrics on the way back down, giving yourself a little push on the way up if needed, but ideally pulling yourself up like that. Now if you can do that comfortably, we need to make it slightly harder. So how do we make it slightly harder? We take the knees away from the chest. So now when I pull up, my knees are further away, and ideally we'll keep going with that so the knees come on top of the bar, so more in this position, and then I come back down again. Now if you already have that strength to pull up into that position and hold with that straighter body, now I just need to do a row, so pull my hip over the bar and then I can transition through to the top of the bar. Now if that row type movement is a struggle for you, then we need to fill that with some strength. So basic row, bar type rows would be a good place to start to check you've got the control and strength to get full range of motion there. If that's easy, we need to start raising the feet up to a height that's challenging, but we can still get as full or as close to the bar as possible with the chest. So all the drills work roughly the same on these lower bars. You just got to take into consideration that there's some movement here, so we can't really do the dynamic one. We can also use these posts to help us. So when I'm pulling myself over the bar here, see I've pushed my elbows out to make contact. I'm actually pushing on them to allow myself to get my hip over the top. And then if I get stuck here, I can place my hands on the bar, push myself through into that position. I can do the same on the way back down. So I could help myself there, hands through, find my position, straighten the arms, and then come down with some sort of control. So I could either start the movement laying on the floor completely, or I could pull up into a front lever, pull the legs up and over the top, and then round to my start position. So these bars in some ways are a little bit easier because I can cheat and play around with it. By using this, I can even set up close to a wall, and the wall can help me over. This actually works the same if I've got a pull-up bar that comes off a wall. I can normally get my feet to the wall and help pull over. So I could go this way and then pull myself over the bar. So using those side bars to help me over. Now I can give myself a touch to pull over. But just make sure that you're assisting with this, you're not pushing off this. If you're pushing off this, that could happen. And then this way round would be similar, using a box or the wall to help get myself up and over. But again, just be careful that you don't push yourself off the wall and end up back splattered over there. Now, I don't tend to put the pullovers in people's programs unless they're working bar muscle ups. So if they are working bar muscle ups, a cool way of doing it is to do a pull over the bar and then do the eccentric bar muscle up down, or use the pullover to get on top of the bar, and then you can come down, use the momentum to come back on the bar muscle up. Now, I prefer to use the skin the cat in people's programs. Now, if you're new to the skin the cat or don't know what it is, check out this video. If you'd like help with your coaching, check out my app, link is down in the description, and I'll speak to you next time.